Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Flipping Tables with the OMG Hour. Today we're going to be talking about A War of Whispers, which actually is just now being distributed through their Kickstarter. Isn't that right, Tico?
That's correct, Sean.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wait, we're doing regular voices for this.
It's a War of Whispers. We must
War
whisper.
of Whispers. Yes, so it's just starting to fulfill from Kickstarter. I believe there is a few places you can find this in the wild at the moment as well, but we were provided a copy by the publisher, and we got a chance to try this out.
I will say, actually, we were sort of accidentally provided a copy of this.
Accidentally,
but
yes.
Yes, we did receive this from the publisher, so we want to go ahead and give this a go. So Tico and I sat down and played this a couple of times, read through the rules, tried to understand it, and here we are, give you our thoughts on War of Whispers.
Yeah.
Now, Tico, this was on Kickstarter, as we just mentioned, and I want you to tell us a little bit of details about the game itself on Kickstarter.
Yeah. So, War of Whispers was kickstarted. The Kickstarter finished in June of 2018, so it's now just being fulfilled.
Wow, a year and a half later.
A year and a half later, which is about accurate. That's about the timeline. When these things, they finish their funding, it's usually we're seeing about a year to a year and a half. Some of them are quicker, true. Some of them not so much. They raised $54,054 Canadian. We always get these weird numbers when we convert to.
We're Canadian, so we're going to give you Canadian value here.
Yes, which was 147% of its goal. So you know.
Yep.
It made it, and it's getting out there now. This game is a competitive 2 to 4 player. What would be the right term for this?
I really equated it to something like Risk. It's a region domination type kind of game.
It's like Risk, but you're allowed to move your opponent's pieces.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of cool about this game. You know, if we look at the actual board setup, you know, you don't control a single army. I guess you call them armies. That's really what they are. You don't control a single empire. Yeah. So there's 5 empires. What you are doing, your role is to sit on the council of each of the empires to manipulate each of them to your own personal goal. You know, so really, that's how the game plays.
So each player has.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Each player has an individual. They have their favorites, like say, and it's sort of it's a drawn out thing. And we'll explain that when we get into the sort of setup. But each player of the 5, we want this guy to have the most. This like the green. We want the green to be the most successful, and we really don't like the blue. And you don't know what your opponents, what they're rooting for. Yeah. And so you're just trying to manipulate each of the armies in order to have your teams come out on top.
Yeah, and it comes down to victory points at the end is really all it comes down to. So it's 2 to 4 players, 30 to 60 minutes. I'd say that's about accurate.
Yeah, I think once we got the hang of it,
definitely I would say more than 30 minutes, though. I mean, I guess you could if you really know the nitty gritty and you've got strategies already in your head. It is a very strategic game. Let me tell you that. Like if you love the strategy, you will love this game. And if you are really quick at strategy, then maybe 30 minutes. I'd say it's going to be closer to an hour for each play session.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'd say about an hour once you get all of the setup and everything ready to go, and as you're going through, because there was times where we're sitting there going, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do, and you're sitting there, you're trying to plan, and then you're checking back to your. So like, okay, wait, who did I bet on?
Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about the gameplay itself. Now you already brought up the loyalty and the actual empires, and these 2 images you have here. On the left, bottom left, you have basically the way your player card looks throughout the game, and those little tokens that are on the cards, on your particular council. Okay, so you are a council, and you're going to sit people on each of the empires, and you want, according to from the left to the right, you've got your devout, your dutiful, your affiliated, your unallied, or your opposed. And those are put on there randomly. You have one of each token. You mix them up. You don't know what they are. You put them on randomly. You can then look at them and see what they are. Yes.
You know who you're rooting for at this point. In this particular case, the Pale Raven here has bet on, I think it's the bear. The blue is the bear clan or the bear empire.
Yes.
To have the most
cities. That's right.
At the end of this, and you gain 4 victory points per city that the Bear Clan would have. And so you really try to manipulate the scenario so that the Bear Clan has the most cities, but at the same time also wanting to make sure that the Horse Clan or Horse Empire really doesn't have anything, because you're going to you want them to have nothing, because you're going to get -1 for every city that they have at the end. And so the Pale Raven will have this is how that will turn out for the Pale Raven. I was the supplement spider, I believe.
Yeah. So each of the councils has their own, and you don't know what your opponents have. And so the cities, which you can see here, these are the cities, and the color on the city represents who owns it. And you are essentially vying to manipulate the armies in each clan to get yourself more points. That's really what it comes down to. And Tico, how did you feel about the actual gameplay?
I actually enjoyed the gameplay quite a bit. I really enjoyed the idea of not necessarily like making moves that are beneficial. Like, I'm going to put my I forget what the guys are called, my agent in a spot, and I'm going to manipulate that I want these guys to take more cities. But I can also, like, it blue for me, the bear was the lowest. That was my -1. So I put guys on their council and had them attack other armies that were bigger and more powerful for them, that knock them out.
To deliberately knock them out, exactly. And the agents you're talking about, they kind of look like little Emperor Palpatines on a throne, and you place them around the perimeter of the board in turn. You take turns placing them throughout the 4 rounds. And you're placing them into one of 4 different council members. You've got your sheriff, your steward, your marshal, and your chancellor, and each of them will have a turn on the board. And each of those positions can do a specific move, 1 or 2 specific actions they're allowed to do per turn. And so you're like, okay, well, I want to be able to do this for the elephant clan. I want to attack with the bear clan or whatever. I want to build up this clan, but then, try to build down this clan. And there's a lot of strategy in deciding where do I go that's going to manipulate the board in my favor. And what I had a little bit of trouble at the beginning kind of getting out of my head is, I'm not a single clan. I can control all of them to get the... Yeah, and you brought up a really good point. It's like Game of Thrones with Littlefinger and Varys, and how they're always whispering in the ears of those in power to manipulate the world to benefit themselves.
Right.
And that's what this game is all about.
And that's what I had so much fun with. I really enjoyed it. So when you place your agents down on this track, we played a 2-player game. So 2-player game, every turn you remove one of your agents from an existing spot, and then you place 3 new ones going back and forth.
Yeah.
So you can have them go down and stay on the board and just make sure that's not one that you're picking up if you really want to have influence over a certain empire.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't want to.
So I was just going to mention the one bit too. When you're placing your characters, the sheriff is the most powerful on any empire, followed by the steward, marshal, then chancellor. If you are the only person who has placed an agent with that empire, and you place it on the chancellor, which is the lowest rung, you get to make the moves for all of those.
Yeah, you get to make a move for any chair that's empty to your right.
Right or left?
Any chair. Any chairs to the right of you that are empty, you also control.
Right.
So there is some strategy there of placing things. So theme-wise, I love the theme. It's great. It's a very interesting theme. My issue with this game is it's too much like Risk, and Risk is like one of those games I despise. Risk is a hugely popular game out, tabletop land, but I have despised Risk since I was a teenager. And this feels too much like Risk for me.
See, I really enjoyed this, and I really early on got the enjoyment out of controlling each army, like looking at that going, okay, blue has too many armies right now. I need to figure out a way to do that. But it's at the same time, I'm trying to figure out what is Sean trying to do? Because, for example, my top end was the lion, the orange. And so they were doing well, but you were also, moving the orange around to have them be victorious. And I'm like, okay, but if he's doing that, then that's okay. Yeah. I don't have to worry about those ones. I can do something else. And so it's almost letting your enemy do some of the work for you, and you have to pay attention because you may have, because they're randomized, you may have the same goals in some of the spots. And I really enjoyed the way that this was done, and I really enjoyed the theme of that sort of whispering into the ear of the council.
I agree. The theme is great. I found the gameplay sometimes like, a lot of the times I'm going through, it's like, I honestly have no clue what my next move should be. Personally, I was really, really bored by the time we finished the game. I know you really liked it. You really enjoyed the game. I know you did.
I really did enjoy it, yeah.
But it was too much like Risk for me. So it's just not my kind of game. I don't know. It's hard to describe why I hate these kind of games, but I did.
And that's the thing. There are types of games that some people just, no matter what, are not going to enjoy. I haven't played a ton of Risk. I didn't play a ton of Risk growing up. I don't have a huge aversion to Risk, but I don't I don't love Risk. It's not a game that I'm like, man, I can't wait to play some more Risk. But this I enjoyed. I enjoyed the way this was set up. I really enjoyed the way the gameplay felt. In terms of setting up, I felt it went down pretty easily. Like the board is nice and easy. You split up the
setup was very easy. Tokens, you each get your own loyalty tokens. You set them up on your board, and then you just around this circular board here, you place each of the colors.
And it's got little arrows, so it tells you like, okay, you're doing here, and there's a little marker too, like start here, then do this, then do this, then do this, and it goes through, and then the little marker goes on the board, says, yep, you finished round 1, and there's 4 rounds. At the end of every round, you have to discard down to 5 cards. Yeah. There are cards in the game as well, which you can use to alter your attacks, to alter your armies, or the armies, not your armies, the armies. And they're played by, like, for example, these ones here that we see on the screen here. You can discard 1 bear card in order to use that first attack there on there, or you can discard 2 cards with the bear symbol to use the second tier attack, or if you discard if you play out a bear and a horse card in order to use the most powerful attacks.
Yeah. So there's very simple components. I actually really I liked the components in it. Now what we're looking at is the deluxe edition of this game, which includes those loyalty tokens, or the banners, which are the little ones with the flags on the board. Normally, those are wooden tokens.
Just little wooden tokens, yeah.
In the deluxe edition, you get those plastic ones. One of my yellow ones, or I think yellow or orange, they kind of look orangey.
Yellowish orange.
They're supposed to be yellow. One of them came and was already broken, so they're a little bit fragile because of the thin base on the banner's flag. That's a little nitpicky, but they are, I don't know, they could have been strengthened a bit, I guess, but it's nice having the tokens because it fits right in the city icon, this little city.
And thematically, too, it does.
Yeah.
It works really well. The Palpatines are a cool upgrade as well with the deluxe edition. Normally, you would just get a punch-out token of your
and the
cities, agent that would sit there.
The cities are also plastic in the deluxe edition, where normally they're just images on the board.
Right, correct.
Yeah, so... Overall, Tico, thoughts on A War of Whispers, which is basically coming soon to your stores.
Yeah, overall, I honestly, I really enjoyed it. I think this is something that I would bring to the table with the right group. Obviously, not with you, because you don't like these sort of games, but with the right group. I really enjoy the idea of manipulating the outcome of the game, and like I would do this if we were playing, poker or any other sort of game where you're just like, hey, listen, maybe you want to play that card, or maybe you want to do this. I would try to do that in any game. So I really enjoyed that. That's the basis of this game. So I really had fun with how this one was set up.
At first, it took me a while to get into it. Then once I understood it, I mean, I get the idea of it. It's too much like Risk for me. I'm not a fan of the whole, you know, army manipulation type thing, and it was, you and I played it as a 2-player. You can play up to 4 players, and man, it would just be, I can imagine the chaos in a 4-player game.
Yeah, there would be a lot more chaos in a 4-player game. I relish in the chaos, and I think I would enjoy that. But I can see how some people would not like that. There are a lot of the take that mechanics that people,
Oh yeah.
a lot of people really don't enjoy. Like, you're setting yourself up for success. You're like, okay, I got all this. Oh wait, that guy just screwed me over, and now you just feel like you're taken out of the game. And I can see how some people would not enjoy that. I enjoy that type of mechanic, and I enjoy that, the way that sort of put together. So I'd be okay with it.
So thumbs up from Tico.
Thumbs up from Tico.
And thumbs sideways for me. I mean,
All right.
I think it's a beautifully made game. It's just not for me. And I think it was designed really well. I think it's a well-designed game if this is your style of game. So there you go. That is A War of Whispers. It is available, should be available soon. It is $99 via Amazon.com. That's US. But for some reason in Canada, if you pre-order it from BoardGameBliss.com, it's only $55 Canadian.
Yeah, and actually, BoardGameBliss.com does ship to the States as well. The $99 number was pulled from the direct link from the publisher's website. It sent us to an Amazon page, and that was the price point on that. I'm going to guess that is not the right price point for that game. That is an early price point.
I think it's going to change. Anyway, you can check them out. Check them out at Starling, www.starling.games. Is that right?
Yep.
Starling.games. You can check out War of Whispers there. You can also check out Starling Games on Twitter at Starling Games. Well, that's it for us for this episode of Flipping Tables. Check us out on Instagram. We now have an Instagram where we're going to post some of these things. It is Flipping Tables with OMG. Give us a like, subscribe, and comment, and you can follow me everywhere as Zion Tane.
And you can follow me at Mr. Second Place.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Oh,